Phase 3, Crushing. When God breaks what flesh built so the oil can flow. The dangerous part about prophetic calling is this. People think the prophet becomes powerful through gifting, but prophets become dangerous through breaking. Because gifts can attract people, but only crushing produces oil. Phase 3 is where God begins confronting everything in you that still depends on flesh. Your strength, your pride, your image, your emotional reactions, your need to control outcomes, even the version of ministry you imagined. This is the phase where God stops allowing you to survive off talent alone. And many prophets struggle here because crushing feels like contradiction. You obeyed God, yet things became harder. You prayed, yet warfare intensified. You sacrificed, yet doors closed. Why? Because God is no longer building your gift. He is building your depth. Oil is expensive. In Scripture, oil did not come without pressure. Olives had to be crushed, and prophets are the same way. God allows pressure to reveal what still lives inside you. Because some people can preach publicly while privately still being ruled by ego. Some can discern demons, but cannot discern their own wounds. Some can prophesy accurately, but still lack character to carry influence safely. So God begins crushing, not to destroy you, but to remove contamination from your oil. This is where betrayal often enters. Misunderstanding, false accusations, loneliness, spiritual exhaustion, seasons where prayers feel unanswered. And this is where immature prophets quit. Because crushing attacks identity. You begin questioning, did I hear God wrong? Why does this hurt so much? Why does obedience feel costly? But what you call breaking, heaven calls preparation. Because prophets who have never been broken often become dangerous when powerful. They become arrogant, controlling, emotionally reactive, addicted to attention, unable to handle correction. So God allows crushing before elevation. This phase teaches prophets how to stay humble while gifted, how to remain loving while discerning darkness, how to survive rejection without becoming bitter, how to carry power without needing control. Because real oil flows best through broken vessels. This is also where God deals with hidden motives. Why do you want influence? Why do you want visibility? Why do you want people listening to you? Because if any part of prophetic ministry is still feeding ego, the crushing will expose it. God will touch areas you tried to hide. The insecurity behind the confidence, the fear behind the ambition, the pain behind the performance, the wounds behind the revelation. And the deeper the calling, the deeper the crushing. Many prophets cry during this phase because they feel like they are losing themselves, and they are. But it is the false self dying, the version created by survival, the version addicted to validation, the version trying to protect itself emotionally. God begins stripping all of it, because flesh cannot carry pure oil. This is why some prophets disappear for seasons. God hides them while crushing happens privately. Because oil developed in secret carries authority publicly. And when prophets survive crushing correctly, their voice changes. Not louder, heavier. They stop speaking from theory. They stop performing spirituality. They stop needing to prove they are anointed. Because crushing produces weight. Now when they speak, there is compassion in it, purity in it, authority in it, brokenness in it, heaven in it, because pain taught them intimacy with God that platforms never could. Phase 3 is where the prophet stops being impressed with being seen and becomes consumed with becoming clean. Because God is not looking for impressive vessels, He is looking for yielded ones.